Anti-Trump liberals who moved to Canada in a tantrum just got nasty surprise on arrival. President Trump's election and subsequent inauguration was, in essence, the trigger heard around the world. The result was wailing and gnashing of teeth that began way back then and has continued on to this day. In their defense, they have gotten slightly more organized than just throwing rocks and paint graffiti everywhere they go. They've now started to call themselves the resistance and are resisting everything that might be related to President Trump, no matter how beneficial to the country. Many of the overgrown toddlers that make up this movement came up with a very concrete plan for how to punish the deplorables. They decided to leave the country. Oh, horror of horrors. How will we ever survive without the gender-ambiguous social justice warriors telling us what we can and can't say? Our highly offended countrymen, and countrywomen and country gender confused, wanted to flee to the north, where they assumed that the socialists already in practicing in Canada would welcome them with open arms. They were in for a horrible surprise when they arrived though. Apparently, just like we've been trying to tell them, socialism isn't all it's cracked up to be. Apparently, up there, you actually have to contribute to society, and there's no box for social justice warrior government dependent on the application for citizenship in Canada. Via Louder with Crowder, one of the more entertaining aspects of the 2016 post-election season are the threats from the losing side to leave the country. Like, can we start GoFundMe accounts for all these losers? I know cash is tight when you're a constant government mooch. Never have those threats been more common or amusing than right now. Leftists refuse to share a country with the Trump, so they are putting on their poo-wai hats, packing their made-from-hemp bags, and sashaying their way up to the Canadian border. That'll show everybody. Except, Canada is not interested in overweight career baristas with gender studies degrees. Liberals seeking to move to Canada because they are unhappy with the election results are finding that Canada won't take them because its immigration policies exclude those who won't contribute to the economy. One of the policies of President Donald Trump that has some Democrats claiming they want to jump ship is his pledge to limit immigration from people whose lives in America would be dependent on welfare. Trump promises extreme vetting before accepting immigrants or refugees, but Democrats looking to move from the US to Australia, Canada and other wealthy English-speaking nations are learning that those nations already have similar policies. Translation of Canadian and Australia immigration policies. Y'all are freaking losers. Go back to your mom's basements. You're America's problem, not ours. Also, take showers. We can smell you from here. Use real soap, not the superior feels from which you derive your elitist attitudes. Well, that's what Canada and Australia would say if they weren't also imprisoned by politically correct rhetoric. Fortunately, I'm not burdened with such problems. Of course, while it's funny that Canada has rejected the rejects, they are still here, in America, wearing vaginal hats, opening their mouths to allow the free flow of unending stupid to come spewing out. Here's looking at you, Ashley Judd. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to cope with their presence by mocking their perpetual stupidity. I'm telling Siri to remind me to write more insults work goals to see the look on these leftists' faces as they are denied immigration would be better than Christmas. Though, it's America that's supposed to be racist, not utopian Canada. They might be whining. I'm sure the words Nazi and fascist are getting thrown around quite a bit, as well. But the truth is having borders and immigration requirements is standard stuff. Always has been. Leftists. Canada doesn't want to inherit more welfare recipients to suckle at their teat and smash up all their stuff every time you don't get your way. So, suck it up and stick around here in the good old US of A. Maybe start a bricklaying business. I hear there's about to be a lot of business down in Texas. I know that nobody wants to hear I told you so, but we definitely told them so. Not only are their glorious dreams about a world in a socialist country being dashed to bits, but now they are going to have to come back to Trump's America with their tails tucked between their gender-neutral legs. I know that's not something you wanted to hear, but we didn't want to hear about nasty women, so I guess we're even. No matter how much you bash the system of government here in the United States, it's still one that allows people to basically do what they want when they want. A country that is all for one and one for all, like Canada, has to regulate the actions of the one for the benefit of the all. That's the thing about socialism. They've got to keep the correct balance of overachievers and moochers. Otherwise, nobody will get to eat. The United States may not have been far away from that if someone like Obama had stayed in office. But the capitalistic mind of President Trump should ensure that generations to come can mooch off of their parents and the government without fear of forced labor, and that millions more will try to break the law to enter. Because we're awesome. And apparently everybody but the liberals know it.